session. My name is Linda. I'm from ITTT, International TEFL and TESOL Training. And I'm back again today for another live session. And if you can hear me, if you can see me, because I'm trying out a new mic today. So if that is working well, I need to know if you can hear me and you can see me. So please leave a quick comment, just throwing in a hi and where you're watching from, so that I know that you can hear me clearly and that you can see me and that you're here and ready to go through today's live and today's topic. That would be really, really great. My name is Linda, working for ITTT, and I have been living in South Korea for 5.5 years. So for me right now, it's 10 a.m. Friday morning in South Korea. And let me know where you are tuning in from and what time it is where you are. Is it Friday already or is it still Thursday? Let me know. And please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, cool. Hi, South Africa. Very cool. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining. It's awesome. Great. Okay, so I guess you can see me and you can hear me, so that's really, really great. Let's just wait for a few more people to join, and then we can get started. So today's topic is the best government programs for teaching English abroad. So if you're interested in teaching English abroad, then you should definitely keep watching. There's a lot of good stuff coming your way. Okay, Juliana, hi, from Illinois, 7 p.m. Okay, cool. Then we have Daniel, hi. Cool. Awesome. All right. Great. Yeah, so I see a couple of people who have watched my live before. Irma too. Hi, Irma. 9 a.m. here in the Philippines. Awesome. Oh yeah, 9 a.m. You're 1 hour behind. Cool. Okay, great. So Vidya is also back again this week. Cool. A lot of familiar faces and familiar names and a couple of new people. So thanks so much for tuning in again. And if you're new here, hi and welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Cool. I have enrolled for the course 3 days ago. Awesome. Congratulations. Great. Which course did you enroll in? Which one? Cool. Great. Okay. So we are actually doing lives twice a week. I'm Friday, Thursday, depending on where you're watching from. And then my colleague Lisa, she's also doing live videos every Tuesday. And she's a non-native English teacher from Russia. She's really great. She has a lot of great tips about online teaching, about, tips for non-native English speakers who want to become English teachers and get TEFL certified and all things like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, I highly recommend checking her out. And in order for you not to miss any live sessions in the future, I highly, highly suggest to like and subscribe. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube right now at the same time. So wherever you're watching from, hit that subscription bell, the notification bell, the subscribe button, the like button, whatever button, just hit it. It would be really, really great. And then you don't miss another live session. So you get notified whenever we go live and you can join. But technically, we do go live every week at the same time, me at the same time, and my colleague Lisa also at the same time. So you can check that out and check out our Facebook page where we always post about the upcoming live sessions. Also, if you're listening to this as a podcast episode, thanks so much for downloading the podcast. We always turn our live sessions into podcast episodes, so audio only. If that's something that you're interested in, check us out. You can search for ITTT on iTunes, podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all these things, and you can find us there. It's called the TEFL and TESOL Podcast by ITTT. So check that out. Couple of new comments here. Cool, Daniel is in Haiti. It's 8 p.m. Awesome. NVIDIA, the 120-hour course in Young Learners. Oh, that I suggested during the live. Cool. Awesome. I'm happy that I could help you making that decision. That's really great. And once you have that course, the 120-hour course and your first specialization, a couple years later, maybe you're like, you know what, I'm interested in teaching business English. Then you can do the business English additional course. And then you're like, oh, we also have the online additional course. You can always go back and, do more. So that's also good. But we all have to start somewhere. And that's a great start. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Also, as I always mention, we have a special offer at the end of the session. It's a discount code, so you don't want to miss it. It's a great deal. It's 30% off. And then you can also enroll into a course if that's something that you would like to do. Great. I think that's it for the business stuff, right? What we always talk about. So back to today's topic. Hold on. It's always hard. I have two laptops here, and I know I say this all the time, but bear with me. I'm alone, and today I feel a little bit sick. My throat is kind of killing me, which is why I have tea right here and a new mic, so I don't have to shout. But yeah, I hope it works all well. Should I lose my voice? I guess I'm just gonna write something on my paper here. No, I don't know. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. Okay. So today's topic, the best government programs for teaching English abroad. So what does that mean? Well, there are several countries that have actually government-funded programs that place English teachers, foreigners who want to teach English, into public or private schools in their countries. And so we're going to take a look at the most popular programs, the best programs, basically. So, and we have countries from all over in this presentation, in this session. So wherever you are interested in teaching, there might be something for you. So I highly recommend to keep watching until the end. Also, for the special offer for the discount code, you don't want to miss it. If you have to go or whatever, you can always watch the replay after the live session ends. They're always available on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page, just for rewatching. And yeah, so let's get started. Let me share my screen with you guys. Let's get rid of this. So, okay. Like I mentioned, the best government programs for teaching English abroad. Okay, let's get started. As always, I do a brief introduction about myself. If you've been here a couple of times, it's already probably boring for you, but I just always like to reintroduce myself for people who are new here. But yeah, so my name is Linda Dunsmore. I'm on the one side, I'm a travel writer and content creator under the name Linda Goes East. You can find me at lindagoeseast.com and on social media at Linda Goes East. I'm originally from Germany and the USA. My mom is German, my dad's American. And yeah, I'm based in South Korea. I've been in South Korea for 5.5 years now. And before living in South Korea, I was in China. I also taught English in China, and I also taught English in South Korea. And yeah, I'm also a TEFL and TESOL marketing professional at ITTT, International TEFL and TESOL Training. You can find ITTT at www.teflcourse.net. And on Instagram, which we are desperately trying to grow to get the swipe up thing for our stories, at International TEFL Training. So if you're on Instagram, please head over there. type in international TEFL training and just give us a follow. That would mean so much to us. It would make my day. Yeah. And yeah, ITTT is a leading TEFL and TESOL course provider worldwide. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah. Then, first question I have for you guys, because this is mainly about teaching abroad today, not teaching online. But if you want to teach online, you can also say that, obviously. So where would you like to teach? Let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. Where would you like to teach? What's like the one place that you're interested in teaching in? Oh, NVIDIA just made a funny comment. You should have named your website Linda Goes Everywhere, not just East. Yeah, but I focus on Asia. So I'm from Europe and then I moved East. And I mean, the more East you go, it's basically everywhere. So I get your point, but yeah. Yeah, it was really hard finding a name, actually. But yeah, thanks. Okay, so where would you like to teach abroad? Tiana, hi. South Korea. Okay, great. Then we have Marilyn, also South Korea. Awesome. Cool. Okay. I was actually thinking about doing, a special live session just about South Korea. I might do that in the future. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in, and I will do that. But yeah, what about other people? Hello again. Yes. Hello, Tiana. You're watching every week. I love it. All right, Flavia. Europe is my dream. Maybe Sweden. Cool. Yeah. Great. Nice. Okay. Then we have Brett. Italy, Germany, France, or South Korea. Cool. Okay. So Europe or South Korea. Awesome. Love that. Okay. Irma, still interested in teaching in Thailand ever since. Great. Cool. Okay. Vidya says, I'm already in the place I want to teach, but I want to know more about Japan. Okay. Where are you teaching at the moment? I forgot. I'm sorry. Japan. Good. Okay. Juliana says, South Korea, Japan, and France. Awesome. Mary Ann, South Korea or Thailand. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so a good mix. And, okay, and, sorry. Tiana's number 2 is Japan. Okay, and Vidya's, you're already in Japan. Okay, cool. Then maybe you can help me out in a little bit, because I will be talking about Japan. I will be talking about Korea. And I will be talking about a couple of others that you mentioned. So that's really good. Okay, Malia says, I want to teach online. Cool. Okay, great. Okay. Awesome. All right, then let's get right into it. So, the best government programs for teaching English abroad. Let's start with the first one. That is EPIC, the EPIC program in South Korea. And that stands for English Program in Korea. And I had a couple of comments here that said South Korea, you're interested in teaching in South Korea, so this is something that you want to pay close attention to. But basically, I know a lot of people who are working in the EPIC program. I myself have not. I worked for private schools in South Korea, but a lot of my friends are in the EPIC program, and so I know it pretty well. Yeah, so basically, the EPIC program is run by the South Korean government, and it places foreign teachers into schools across the country to work as English language instructors in schools with kids of different levels, different schools. Some of my friends, they work at 2 or 3 different schools. So that's all that. Then the EPIC program is popular because it offers a lot of competitive salaries, attractive extra benefits, and the chance to live and work in a unique cultural environment in East Asia, so in South Korea. And here's the link where you can apply. So I want to mention that obviously you should always make sure that you check for accuracy in terms of information. I have done my research, so this is all from my and my ITTT team's research. But obviously, you should always turn to the official organization and all that for, your additional questions and stuff. We are not from the EPIC program, right? So we are just giving you the information. So check out epic.go.kr if you want to apply, and they are also currently hiring and placing teachers into the programs. Yeah. Then a little bit more about that. So the requirements for the EPIC program. Unfortunately, it's not open to everybody. You have to be a citizen of a country where English is the primary language. So that's typically, like mentioned here, Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, United Kingdom, United States, or South Africa. From those countries. You need to have a passport from those countries, or you must have studied from at least the junior high level, so 7th grade, and graduated from a university in one of those 7 countries to be eligible. However, Indian citizens are also eligible for positions if they meet all other requirements and hold a teacher's license in English. So that's also good to know, because I get a lot of questions from Indians who want to teach English in South Korea. So that's something that, if that fits for you, it is possible. Then you also need to have a bachelor's degree, a minimum of a bachelor's degree, so 4 years, from an accredited university. And if you only have a 2 years associate's degree, then you can also apply for a program, not the EPIC program, but the TALK program. And those are pretty similar. So the TALK program is also for teaching English in South Korea. Usually for younger people, because it's the associate's level, but it's pretty similar. So you can also go and teach English in South Korea with the TALK program. And for more information, I would recommend checking out talk.go.kr. Then for the EPIC program, you should also have a TEFL or TESOL certificate of at least 100 hours. But if you have a teaching license, or what does it say, a teaching license certificate, or if you majored in education, it's not required to have a TEFL or TESOL certificate. But if you do, it's a bonus, obviously. It's a very competitive program. So you want to be at your best, basically. You have the best professional portfolio, right? Yeah, great. Then a little bit more about how much money you can make on the EPIC program. They have a pay scale, which you can see on the left side here. The table might be a little small, but basically they split it up into levels depending on your qualifications. So the more qualifications and certificates you have, the more money you can make. So that is also true. Okay, Tiana said, and the talk is mostly in rural areas. Yes, but the EPIC program, it can also be in rural areas. So one of my friends, she works here in my city, which is like 850,000 people, but on the outskirts. And so she works for 3 different schools, I believe. And so 2 of her schools are rural schools. So she actually needs to take the bus for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, and go outside into the countryside and teach there. So it can happen in EPIC program too, that you have, rural areas. But that shouldn't scare you, because I think it's a more authentic Korean experience, right? And Korea is really, really small, so you can always jump on the bus or train and head up to Seoul. So yeah, but thanks for that. Yeah. So yeah, back to the salary. So basically depends on your qualifications on how much you can make. But the highest you can make is 2.7 million Korean won. So you can be a millionaire in Korea. But basically 2.7 million won is like, I should have written it on here. It's like 2,500 US dollars. Let me check and make sure. I have a currency app. 2.7 million is, 2,460 US dollars at the moment. So that's the highest you can make. as you can see here. And the lowest, the start is 2.1, so like under 2,000 US dollars. Which might not sound like much, but considering the additional benefits like a fully furnished apartment that you get, paid airfare in and out of your country, you also get a 300,000 Korean won settlement allowance, which is great. You get 18 days paid leave plus all national holidays, and you get 1 month salary bonus on completion of the contract. And there's also a national pension scheme that you pay into when you teach in Korea. And then when you leave at the end, you get the whole money back. And that's depending on how long you stay. If you stay even just 1 year, it's a couple thousand. So it's like $2,000, I think. So if you stay longer and it's kind of like saving, right? It's kind of like you leave and then you have like this whole chunk of money, which is nice for when you go back and, whatever you want to do after that. Then also interesting to know that EPIC hires for 2 terms each year, according to the Korean public school calendar. So applications for the spring term, they open on August 1st of the previous year. So they hire pretty early in advance, so you need to be early. And positions for the fall term open on February 1st of the same year. So keep that in mind if that's something that you want to do, to just apply early. And like I said, it's not on here now, but check out the website epic.go.kr for the EPIC program. Let me look at some comments. All right, Ahmed says, I'm a teacher, I'm non-native, what should I do? Okay. Depends. Do you have if you're interested in Korea, if you have a passport from one of those countries here, no problem. Also, if you're an Indian citizen and you have a teaching license, no problem, you are eligible. If not, then you might have to wait a little bit for other options in this presentation. Then maybe South Korea wouldn't work in your case, unfortunately. Gwendolyn, hi. Can people who aren't from the eligible countries teach in South Korea? Difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. So also a similar question to Ahmed. But yeah, if you're not from one of those English-speaking countries and you're not Indian, you don't have a license, a teaching license, it's still possible under certain circumstances. So for example, the E2, the visa that teachers in Korea get is the E2 visa, but there's also other visa types that allow you to live and work in Korea. So maybe your country has the work and travel option. You could look into that. There's a work and travel visa for South Korea. Then there's also a visa for people who have Korean ancestors, up to the 3rd generation Korean. You can get a visa. Then there's the spousal visa. You could get married and then move to Korea. There's also, there's a bunch of different visas. There's options, certainly. You might have to, attend university first. You might have to take Korean classes. Definitely. So if that's something that you're interested in and you really want, I recommend checking out the different visa options or speak with the nearest Korean embassy in your country and look for options that you have. Okay. All right. Then Vidya says, just to know, when it says teaching license, will the 120-hour TEFL certification count as a teaching license? So the 120-hour TEFL certification is not a teaching license. So what that means here, I have to, turn this off, for Indian citizens. So a teacher's license in English. So that would be I assume that would be an Indian teaching license in English. Yeah, not a TEFL certificate. Those are separate. So a TEFL certificate is not a teaching license. It's a teaching certificate. They're on a different level. Typically, you do not need a teaching license in order to teach English abroad, but because those are just for like your country. So if you want to be a teacher in your country, you get a teaching license. If you want to teach English abroad, you would get a TEFL certificate. But in this case, they require both for Indian citizens. So it always depends on, the laws and regulations of the different countries and places. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Okay. All right. Excellent question from Alejandro. How good is the TEFL certification good for, or how long is the TEFL certification good for? I got certified in October 2017. Is it still deemed as relevant studies to apply for a teaching job? Yes. So your TEFL certificate never expires. It's good forever. But obviously, it's good to kind of, stay up to date with teaching in general, teaching topics. You can also do like little specialization courses to just get a refresher. So like the specializations that we have is teaching English to young learners, teaching business English, or teaching English online. So those are good for A, refreshers, and B, like polishing, enhancing your resume. So I would recommend that. But 2017, that's not that long ago. You're good. Okay, cool. So this is it about the EPIC program. Okay. All right, this is it about the EPIC program. There is another Q&A session at the end where you can also ask more questions. So if I go too fast or something, you just let me know later on. That's okay too. Or keep throwing your questions. No problem. All right. Hello. Okay, there you go. Okay, we saw that. Yep. Next. There we go. The next program I would like to introduce is the JET program in Japan. It's also very, very popular, and it's one of the oldest government-run teaching programs in the world. It stands for the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. And yeah, it's a government-backed scheme in Japan. And it places around 5,000 foreign nationals into schools across Japan. What's interesting about the JET program is that there are 3 types of positions that you can apply for in this program. So there's basically the assistant language teacher, the ALT, which is pretty much 80% of all those apply that they end up being ALTs. Then there's a coordinator of international relations, CIR. Those are people who also have pretty good Japanese language skills. So it's a little bit more a higher position, and you do need to speak Japanese for that. And then there's the sports exchange advisor, SEA. So that's basically not English teaching, but sports. So you would be a sports coach of some sort. You can apply at jetprogram.org and check that out. The requirements for the JET program are pretty much centered around you really need to be into Japan. That's kind of what they want. They want this exchange between not only you teaching English, but also between your community and your students teaching you about Japan. So it's like this give and take situation. So they want you to be interested in Japan and be willing to deepen your knowledge and appreciation of Japan. You also need to hold a bachelor's degree or higher. What it says, applicants for the alt position may alternatively hold a certification of completion of a 3-year course. Okay, so if you only completed 3 years of college, you can teach at the primary, elementary, or secondary level, which is also great for a lot of people who don't have a 4-year degree. So that's a great opportunity here. And you need to be under the age of 40. So if you're over 40, it might be a little bit more difficult to qualify for the JET program. Okay, then the pay. So what does the pay look like for the JET program? It's also really good. It's a pre-tax salary of 280,000 yen, which is currently $25,000 in your first year. but obviously it's paid monthly. The working hours are approximately 35 hours per week from 8:30 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Airfares for travel to Japan plus the homeward flight on completion of the contract are paid for by the program also. And you get paid holiday time. It varies between 10 and 20 days plus all national holidays. So it depends on which province you work in, which school you work in. So you get more or less holidays. Video says, why is that age limit? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know why that age limit is. I know that there's like the stereotype, especially in Asian countries and schools, that younger teachers are more energetic, they have more energy, they teach kids better, I guess, because they have more energy. But of course, that's not the case. And so I don't know why that is the age limit, but it just is. Yeah, I think that's it about the JET program. So I recommend applying at jetprogram.org. They're also currently hiring. So if that's something that you're interested in, teaching in Japan, I highly recommend the JET program. I have a friend who worked for the JET program for 3 years, and she really, really liked it. And then she came to Korea, and she worked here for 5 years in the EPIC program. Keep getting all those acronyms mixed up. JET, EPIC, TALK. But yeah. So, nice. Let's take a look at the next program. The next program I would like to introduce is the TAPIF Program in France, which stands for Teaching Assistant Program in France, which is also a government initiative that places applicants into French state schools to work as teaching assistants. So this is a great opportunity to live and work in France, where it's often difficult to secure a long-term visa, especially for non-EU citizens. So that's another great opportunity. And I know somebody said they were interested in teaching in France, so that might be something for you. You can check the details out at tapif.org. That's the official website. And then the applications are evaluated based on the following things. So you do need to have French language skills. You do need to write sort of an essay in French, why you want to be on the program. You need to have some teaching. Well, you don't need to have some teaching experience, but if you have teaching experience, it's better. You would be evaluated higher. Also, any experience working with children or young adults is great. Any experience living abroad counts. The level of the applicant's university studies. So that's also very important to take a look at. And just general motivation and professionalism in the field of teaching. And you do need to provide some letters of recommendation. But all those details are on the website, tapif.org. So I recommend you check that out. There's a little bit more information that I have for you guys about the TAPIF program, which is how to apply. So like I said, there's a statement of purpose essay in French that you need to write. It's only 500 words, so it's actually not that bad. You also need to provide a scan of a valid passport, your university transcripts, language evaluation from the university French professor, or your former professor, and letters of recommendations from academic or professionals. So anybody like teachers, professors, work colleagues, people like that. And there's a $60 application fee that you also need to provide. And then you can fill out your application. Yeah. They're also currently hiring. It's not a suspended program, so it's still running, even though, due COVID and stuff. But yeah, check that out at tapif.org. If you're interested in teaching English in France, that would be a great opportunity. All right, then another one in Europe, we have the CAPT in Spain, which is the Cultural Ambassadors Program for Teaching English in Spain. It's run by the Spanish Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sport and it places up to 2,500 American and Canadian citizens to teach English and Spanish primary and secondary schools. So you need to be either American or Canadian in order to qualify for this particular program. And if you work in this program, it requires you to work a set number of classes per week, and you get a stipend of 700 euros per month. You also get health insurance coverage and a long stay work visa. Oh, hi. Thank you. Hi from Korea. Hi to Angola. Thanks so much. Okay, so when to apply? You can actually apply. Now it's still running until January 27th, the period for the 2021-2022 school year. So if that's something that you're interested in, you should start applying after January 27th. And the requirements, yeah, you need to be American or Canadian, aged between 21 and 60. So that age gap is pretty broad, so that's really good. Okay, there's a little bit more information about this program. Again, what you need to do in order to submit your application. So you also should have some Spanish. Oh, they provide extra points. Spanish language skills, so college transcripts, high school records, anything that sort of shows that you have Spanish language skills is beneficial. You need to prove physical and psychological suitability, excuse me. So a medical form is required. I believe they would give you that medical form that you need to fill out. Any academic achievements, your bachelor's. A bachelor's is a minimum, it says. And yeah, any previous teaching experience, any previous work with children, any experience abroad is something you need to submit. And then TEFL or TESOL qualification is not necessary, not compulsory, but highly beneficial. So as you can see, the more you submit, the more stuff you can submit, the better it is, the higher your chances are to get into this program. So also here, how to apply, you need to also submit a statement of purpose, so an essay, but this can be in English, not in Spanish, like the other one was French. So 250 to 300 words, a statement of purpose, why you want to be on that program, a copy of your reference letter from your employer or university, copies of your degrees and diplomas and TEFL certificates and all that, and also a copy of your valid US or Canadian passport. And then check out educacionyfp.gov.es. That's a hard one. And that's their official website. So if that's something that you're interested in, teaching English in Spain, because it can get difficult for non-EU citizens to secure work visas to teach abroad, especially not abroad, but in Europe. This program is really good because it's focused on Americans and Canadians. So that's a great way to sort of get your foot into the door in Europe. All right, let me take a look at the comments here. We have another one from Vidya. What is the course to learn online teaching? Age limit for JET program is a damper, and that I was not aware of. So online teaching would be good in the future. Okay. Well, so I would still recommend reaching out to the JET program, to the people there to make sure, in your case, maybe depending on your qualifications and you're already in Japan, you have other options despite your age. You never know. Like I said, I'm not from the JET program. I'm not from there. I'm just telling you what I researched, right? So there might be some loophole that I'm not aware of in terms of age that might be good for you. So I recommend reaching out to them, email them, call them. If they have an office where you are, just go there and ask questions. The course for online teaching, you can find that on our website. So if you go to teflcourse.net and you go to because you already have a TEFL, right? So you would need the specialization. So you can look at where it says online courses and then specialization or specialized TEFL courses. And there it is the online specialization. But I can also drop the link into the comment box in a little bit for you if you like. Okay. All right, so that is the Cultural Ambassadors Program in Spain. Really interesting. Let's look at the next one. Here we have also a similar name, CETP in Hungary, another European program, which is the Central European Teaching Program. So this is also a quite established, long-running program that also places applicants into schools in Hungary to work as English language teachers. Contracts are between 10 months and a year in duration. So usually it starts in September until mid-June the next year. But you can also apply for 6-month contracts there, which is great because a lot of positions are for a year or sometimes even 2 years, depending on where you want to teach. So if you're looking for something just short term, this program might be really good because you have this 6-month option. So you can go January to June. So if that's something you're interested in, check out cetp.info for the Central European Teaching Program in Hungary. For this program, if you get accepted, there is a 5 to 7 day orientation in Budapest prior to the beginning of the school year. You also typically have 22 to 26 class meetings per week. So class teachings, I presume that's what that means. Teachers are paid a salary in local currency according to the same pay scale as native teachers. So you make the same money as native teachers in Hungary. And then what you do get, you also get health insurance in Hungary. So you fall under the healthcare system of the host country there. So that's also great. And you're also provided accommodation for the duration of your stay. And the CETP provides all documents necessary to receive your work visa after arrival. So they really take care of you. They guide you through the whole process. So that's also really, really great if that's something you're interested in. And I've been to Budapest. It's beautiful. I would love to go there, actually, this program. All right, let's take a look at more comments here. Ahmed says, which one is the best TEFL or CELTA? Okay. Depends on sort of what your goal is in terms of best TEFL course. We offer TEFL courses between 60 hours of training and 550 hours of training. So there's a lot of different options for you. We also have online courses, in-class courses, combined courses. So it all depends what you want. But if you don't have any TEFL yet, I always recommend starting at the 120-hour certification level, because 120 hours is pretty much the standard certificate now for teaching English abroad. That's the minimum hours that you need to have. So that's a good one to start with. And you can find that on teflcourse.net. I can also paste the link. Let me find it real quick. So here are all our online course options. I'm posting the link into the comment box. You can check that out. And here you can find all the options. But if you don't have any certification yet, I highly recommend starting at the 120-hour level. And then you can, top it up with specializations in business English, in teaching English to young learners, in teaching English online, things like that. Once you have that, you can get the TESOL diploma and work your way up, basically. All right. Okay. Back to Hungary, the CETP Central European Teaching Program. The requirements for this program are you need to be a native English speaker from the US, Canada, UK, or any other EU country. So again, the options are a little bit more open than the previous program in Spain. And it's another great opportunity for people outside of the EU, so US Americans or Canadians, to get their foot into the door in Europe. There's no official upper age limit, which is also great for anyone who wants to do it. You need to have a bachelor's degree and you need to have a minimum of a 40-hour online TEFL course. And what's also great in this program is that you can also bring your partner, a friend, or family member along with you, and you can be placed together, which is great. And also, I found this really interesting, might be good for some people. So if you don't want to teach English, you have some other skill, you can actually also teach something beside English. So for example, a lot of teachers under this program also teach history, they teach literature, German, social studies, American and British culture, all these kinds of different things. And they are all taught in English except German. And then some teachers also become sports coaches for things like basketball, soccer, or other sports as volunteer activities. So that's also a good opportunity. If you're like, oh, I love history, or, well, I'm not sure about the qualifications that you need to have. Maybe you need to, if you're like already a history teacher back home, then this would make sense, right? That you go to Hungary and then also be a history teacher. So this would be something you need to clarify with them directly. I don't know this information. What other qualifications you would need if you're like, oh, I want to teach history or I want to teach social studies there. But I just thought it's worth mentioning because maybe someone is interested in that. We get a lot of like retired teachers. I know someone was a retired French teacher. So things like that, retired teachers. So this would be a great opportunity. There's no upper age limit. Yeah. So think about it. I think it's great. Good. Okay. Moving on. The next program I would like to talk about is the NET scheme in Hong Kong. NET stands for Native Speaking English Teacher. And this program has been implemented in public sector secondary and primary schools in Hong Kong since 1998. So it's also quite long established program. The teachers under this program, they either work as primary NETs or secondary NETs. So there's also two options. The appointment of a NET will be a 2-year contract, and it normally starts in mid-August and ends in mid-August 2 years later, and is subject to renewal after expiry. So you can renew under this program if you want to. I actually know somebody who worked under the NET scheme in Hong Kong, and it was great. They loved it. They were there, I think, 2 years. I'm not sure if they renewed. And she was there with her sister, which was also really great. So they were both in the NET scheme. They didn't live together, though, because they worked in different parts of the city, because you also get your apartment from your school, basically, or from the scheme. But yeah, I just thought that was great. Both sisters living in Hong Kong under the NET scheme. That was great. So let's take a look at primary NETs versus secondary NETs to find out maybe which one fits you better. So primary NETs. They teach English to Hong Kong students and assist in teacher and curriculum development in public sector primary schools for students aged between 6 and 12. So that's basically the difference. As a primary NET, you teach kids aged 6 to 12. And as a secondary NET, you teach English to Hong Kong students in secondary schools to students aged between 12 and 19. So it depends on, do you prefer teaching younger kids or older kids, and also your qualifications. So let's take a look at the requirements. The requirements for the NET scheme in Hong Kong: you need to be a native speaker of English or possess native speaker English competence. So in this program, they actually never mention any sort of citizenship, nationality. They don't care about that, but you need to be a native or near native English speaker. You also need to have a TEFL or TESOL qualification, a bachelor's degree in any subject. And for non-native speakers who have not acquired the language early in childhood are also suitable for the employment as NETs. So that's also great to know. If you're a non-native English speaker, but your English is good, near native level, you're very fluent in English, then you can also apply for the NET program in Hong Kong. Yeah, the official website is right there. It's a little bit confusing, but you can just Google, type in net scheme Hong Kong, and then if you see this website edb.gov.hk, you can click on that, and that's the official site. About the pay, so there's a monthly salary of between 25,000 and 60,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is currently between 3,200 and 7,700 US dollars. So that's pretty high. That's a really good salary. But Hong Kong is also a little bit expensive. But still, it's a pretty good salary. They also assist you in finding suitable accommodation, and they give you a housing allowance of around 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. So I have to correct myself because I earlier said they give you housing. They do not give you housing for free. They help you finding housing near the school, and you get a housing allowance. So yeah, but that's why the salary is so high, I assume. Salary is really high, plus the allowance that will cover your rent. And if you're looking at the numbers, so it says 25,000 Hong Kong dollars is around 25,000 Hong Kong dollars is around 3,200 US dollars, and the housing allowance is 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that's a lot. Actually, that's a pretty big stipend. So that probably covers a lot of your rent, depending on where you live. Then they also give you paid round-trip airfare from your home country to Hong Kong and then back. And you can also bring up to 4 family members, which is really cool. They also give you a relocation allowance to assist with the transport cost of your personal belongings. So if you're moving with your whole family and you bring all of your stuff, they help with that. And you also get a stipend for medical insurance coverage. So that's really interesting. Yeah, so that's that about Hong Kong. All right, then we're moving on. I believe this is the last one I'm talking about, but don't quote me on that. But I wanted to mention it because it's in South America, where these sorts of programs are still kind of rare. But this is the EODP program in Chile, which is the English Opens Doors program. And I have to say it's currently suspended, unfortunately. That's why I put this disclaimer here. It's currently suspended due to COVID. So if that's something you're interested in, just keep checking the website. Here, Centro de Voluntarios.cl. And keep checking the website regularly. I think they're not doing it in 2021, this whole year, but they might, start doing it again for next year. So then you can jump on the wagon then. But yeah, the English Open Doors program is sponsored by the Chilean Ministry of Education and the United Nations Development Program. Its objective is to improve the level of English of the students from 5th grade to 4th grade in high school. So students aged between 13 and 18 years of age. The requirements for this program: you need to be between the ages of 21 and 35, so that's a little bit narrow there. You also need to be a native or near native English speaker. You need to have a bachelor's degree. And what's also important is that you need to have sufficient funds to basically get you through the program from start to finish, because it's more of a volunteer program. You do get money, but it's not much, especially if you do want to travel and explore the region. It's not going to be enough. So they want to make sure that you come to Chile, that you have enough money to, get through it for your cost of living there. So let's talk about the pay and benefits of this program in Chile. So all meals are included in the program. You have a week-long orientation course at the beginning in Santiago. You get free transportation within Chile, which is really cool. I believe you get issued like some sort of transportation card you can use. You get free health insurance. You also get a free online Spanish course. There's no visa fee. And here, this is the allowance that you get. So currently you get an allowance of 100,000 is it Chilean pesos for each month of completed service. So depending on how long you stay, and this is currently around 135 US dollars, so per month, but typically they would pay this at the end of your experience. So once you've completed all the months, then at the end you would get the money. But I also read some schools or some organizations, depending on where you work, they pay every other month. So that depends apparently. So check that out. Ask them on the website. Get in touch with them. And also all housing costs are covered if you choose the homestay option. And homestay means you would stay with a local family there, which can be a really fun and interesting experience, right? Living with a local family, I think that's really fun. So yeah, this is the English Open Doors program in Chile in South America, currently suspended because of COVID, but I still wanted to mention it because it's the only program of this kind in South America. And so, yeah, it looks like they're probably going to pick it up again. I assume it's probably for next year. So just visit the website if that's something you're interested in and look out for it. Okay. All right. These were all the programs that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. I hope you found it interesting. There was something interesting in there. I always try my best. And like I said, there is a special offer at the end, which is this. So 30% off any ITTT, TEFL, or TESOL course. You can either scan this code with your phone and get the code or the discount, or I'm also sharing the discount link in the comment section with you guys right now. So you should see it. It ends with FB Live 312. And you basically click on that link and it leads you straight to the application page. And once you fill out your application, at the end, when you hit that green button, then you'll see the discounted price when it reloads the page. And then you can come back and complete your payment at any time that you like. So yeah, this is also where I'm starting the Q&A session. So if there are any questions, not only about the teaching programs, but about TEFL or TESOL teaching, about South Korea, about China, about anything at all, you now have the chance to throw your questions at me. And we can have a chat. So also, if there are no questions, then that's okay too. Like I said, we do go live every week, twice a week. I go live on Fridays or Thursdays, depending on where you are. And my colleague Lisa goes live on Tuesdays. And if you are a non-native English speaker, check her out. She has a lot of great tips for that. Also, if you're interested in teaching English online, I recommend checking her out. She's really great. She does a lot of online teaching. And also, where is that? Here, I would really like to know, what other topics would you like us to talk about during our live sessions? What other topics would you like us to talk about in our live sessions? Because we are doing these for you guys, so we want to make sure that they are interesting to you, that there's something that, helps you. So, yeah. All right, we have a question from Vidya. I had a look on the website. Is this the link to the online teaching course, as I already have enrolled to the 120-hour course? Which website? I see there's 2 links posted. So if you mean the discount link, you need to click on that where it says FB Live 312, and that leads you to the application page. Oh, it's this one. Sorry. Is this the one? Yes, I think this looks right. Let me make sure on the website. Yeah, specialized courses. And then you scroll down. Yeah, CTEO certification. And then there's with tutor support or without. So for example, this one. Here. I think that's the same one, right? Yeah, looks like the same one. Yes. Yes, Vidya, you're right. Okay, then somebody says, links for online jobs for non-native English speakers. Okay. Is that a topic suggestion? I think my coworker, Lisa, she did something similar. She mentioned in her last live, it was on Tuesday, you could check that out. It was where she was talking about how she plans her online lessons, but there was one part where she basically mentions all the online teaching platforms that hire non-native English teachers. You should check that out. That's exactly that. It's also on our Facebook page or on YouTube. Go back where it says live videos and then the one from Tuesday. And then watch that. At some point, she mentions a whole list of online teaching platforms that hire non-native English speakers. Okay. All right. Irma says, I was waiting for Thailand and Vietnam. Yeah, I know. I don't think they have teaching programs like that there. I think they just hire directly, like into schools. They do not have teaching programs. So yeah, I'm sorry. It was not in this session this time. Unfortunately, yeah. Okay, Gwendolyn says, I would love to learn about any teaching programs in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. Okay. So like I said, I don't think they have any, but I'm going to do some research and check because there might be something that, is new, but yeah. Let me write that down. What we do have, though, we work with a lot of recruiters who place teachers into those countries. So that's something you're interested in. Let me share a link with all our recruitment partners because, they have a lot of positions. There's one specifically who has positions in Thailand all the time or Taiwan, places like that. Okay, here, Gwendolyn, check that out. This link, EFL, ESL jobs. Those are our recruitment partners, and they do a lot of work in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia too, I believe, in terms of teaching jobs. Yeah, you're welcome. Sure. Okay, cool. All right. This was great. Yeah. Cool. All right. Then I think this is it for today. Thanks so much for joining. It was a lot of fun today. I hope you guys found it a little bit interesting and you found something useful to take away from. And I see you guys next week. And feel free to reach out also on my personal account at Linda Goes East. If you have any questions, I would love to have a conversation with you. And yeah, let us know what other topics you'd be interested in hearing about next week. And then, yeah, I can't wait to see you all again. I know there's so many familiar faces every week. I really, really appreciate it. It's great. It's like our own little TEFL family, like we called it, right? So, yeah, that's really great. All right, then I wish all of you a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I see you all next week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye.